Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here. Welcome back to another horror movie review. Today we will be continuing the Scream movie review franchise, and that is on, of course, the fourth film in this entry, Scream 4, which was released in 2011. As you can tell, there's definitely a long gap between this and the third one. Like I said, the third was meant to cap off on the original trilogy, but I think Wes Craven, I don't remember the exact reason, wanted to make a fourth one. I think it might have been because of the remake trend. I don't know what I'm talking about. Trend that was going on, during the 2000s to early 2010s, But yeah, this copy that I have is pretty old. It's got like the original iTunes logo and the Windows XP. I got this off Amazon for like $11. So, it's definitely interesting. So, Scream 4, what is it about? So, Scream 4 picks up a decade after the third movie, I believe. Sidney Prescott has now gotten her own book. She's an author. She's written her own novel. She does press tours and everything. So, she's become a pretty popular person or woman in the fame Hollywood type of deal. She goes back to Woodsboro for press purposes along with her supervisor, and she runs into Dewey and Gale, who of course were from the last few movies. Glad to see these guys return again after so long. Nice to have them all back. Hopefully that continues in Scream 5 and 6. So anyway, everything's going good, press conference, but unfortunately, the night before, there was a murder. 2 teens were murdered in a house, just like Drew Barrymore's character and Steve were killed from the original. So, obviously, you can tell where this is kind of going. So, yeah, everybody's on high alert. Dewey is actually the sheriff now of Woodsboro, something that I was assuming was going to happen at some point. But, it's cool nonetheless. He also has a partner, Deputy Hicks. She's out there. She's a little weird. She's out there. Anyway, then we get introduced to Jill Roberts, who is actually Sidney Prescott's cousin, along with her mom and her 2 friends, Kirby and Olivia, I believe. Is it Olivia? I think it's Olivia. And they get a threatening phone call. So, yeah, that is not great in a Scream movie when you get a threatening phone call. But mind you, they're in a car and it's middle of the day. Then again, Randy did get mutilated in the middle of the day. So, take it as you may. But anyway, nothing happens. They're fine. So, yeah, they get a threatening phone call. So now Jill Roberts' place is now on like high alert. So they've got a couple cops sitting out there. One of them is played by a comedian. I forgot his name. It's Anthony something. Is it Anthony Anderson? Yeah, Anthony Anderson. I'm not sure if he's a comedian or he's just a comedic guy in movies, but I do recognize him. So we also get introduced to a couple new guys, Charlie and I think, is it Robbie? I think it's Robbie. And we also get introduced to Jill Roberts' ex, Trevor. Kind of a throwaway character, honestly. Kind of a dick, if I gotta be honest. Did not like his character all that much. So, yeah. After another murder happens with Olivia, unfortunately, they soon realize that the killer is trying to remake the events of the first movie. Sort of like, Stab, but you know what I'm saying. They're trying to recreate the events that happened in the original Scream that happened to Sidney Prescott. So from there on, they now have to track down who the killer is, and murder and chaos ensues. Scream 4 was definitely a return to principle and a return to the classic. This, hands down, was a step up from 2 and 3. I would definitely watch this over 2 and 3. 2 was all right, but 3 was out there. No Scream film is bad. At least from what I've watched so far. Out of the 4 that I've watched so far, none of these have been bad to where I can't stand watching them. There's just some I would watch above others, and Scream 4 is honestly, my personal opinion, better than 2 and 3. That may change in the ranking, but you never know. So yeah, definitely like the introduction of new characters for once. I mean, you know, of course, you got the return of Sydney and Dewey and Gale, but I think the new characters for the most part are pretty good. Jill Roberts is played by Emma. What is her last name? I think it says so here. Does it say? Emma Roberts. And Kirby is actually played by Hayden Panettiere. If you don't recognize that name, she plays Sam in one of my favorite horror video games of all time, Until Dawn. Definitely recognized her in this film. I had no clue she was in here. I mean, I recognized her from the video game, but still, it was great to see her in here. Definitely one of my personal favorite characters in this film. Robbie and Charlie, you know, they're like the throwaway, you know, goofy gag characters, kind of like Randy and Stu, you know. Like I said, Trevor, forgettable. Don't really enjoy him that much. I like what they do with Gale in this film. They try to, you know, have her competing with Sydney with all the attention. Not really. I mean, of course, it's in a friendly way, but, you know, she's getting kind of jealous, this and that. And eventually she does try to hunt down the killer as well. But I did enjoy that part. If you are a Carnage Candy person, you will enjoy this film. I will say that. There are a lot more kills than 3 and 2. And definitely 1. I think 1 only had like 6, 7 kills. And 2 and 3 only had like 10 for each. I think this one at least shoots 14, 15 kills. So you'll definitely get an enjoyment out of this. And the killer reveal, man, huge step up from fucking Roman. Don't even get me started on Roman. Roman's just a stupid ass character. I don't know who thought him being Ghostface was a good idea. But the reveal for who the killer is in here, or it could be killers, you never know. I mean, of course 3 had 1, but you never know, this could have 1 or 2. Not gonna spoil, but you know. So the killer reveal was a huge step up. Really like how the premise on what they were trying to do. Really enjoyed that. And then Deputy Hicks, I think she was enjoyable, you know, for some of her moments. She did get a little weird, kind of weirded out by her, but I'm assuming that's how Wes Craven wrote her. And speaking of Wes Craven, I believe this was one of his last films that he did. I don't think he didn't come back to return writing 5 and 6 because he unfortunately passed away in 2016, I believe. And it was such a loss to a great horror legend. Rest in peace, Wes Craven. I mean, we remember him from Nightmare on Elm Street, but we also remember him for Scream. So definitely rest in peace, my guy. You made a great last Scream film. Hate they had to continue it on without you. I think they could have been fine leaving it off at 4. But, you know, hopefully they respected his wishes and did what was right for the franchise going forward. I'll be looking forward to seeing that in Scream 5. So anyway, overall, this film was a huge step up from 2 and 3. Really enjoyed the characters a lot more. Kills were good. Honestly, they were pretty gory. You know, I mean, remakes do tend to try to twist things around. Of course, this wasn't a remake. This followed the events of 3. But they definitely did step up the gore, I will say that. So Carnage Candy people, you'll enjoy it. And the final battle, great final battle as well. Like the change up for that. And if you didn't notice, in some parts of the scenes, they actually reference or show some of Wes Craven's older films from his career, like The Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare on Elm Street. I think The Last House on the Left, did he do that? I don't think he did that. But I know The Hills Have Eyes and Nightmare on Elm Street, he did do those. So that's always nice to see. But yeah, overall, solid film. Would highly recommend, and a huge step up from 2 and 3. Don't want to spoil too much, so I'm just going to leave the review off here. So that has been my review on Scream 4. Fantastic sequel. Huge step up from 2 and 3, like I've said. I know I've said that many a times. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely give this about an 8. You know, like I said, could care less for the douchey Trevor guy. And there's an opening to this film that did kind of piss me off. I get what they were trying to do, but it still kind of pissed me off. Like the very opening. Nah, get that out of here. But anyway, 8 out of 10. Not as good as 1, but still, I think a high step up from 2 and 3. So that has been my review on Scream 4 from 2011. What is everyone's thoughts on this movie? And let me know down in the comment section down below. Really would love to hear your thoughts on it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next horror movie review. So God bless, and have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.